Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Junyuan Chen from National Taiwan University of Art. It's my honor here today to present you with our research, Selecting Criteria of Design of the Year Award, a case study of Taiwanese design entrance. Please allow me to first start by asking a question. What is good design? This question has been a great interest for design researchers and scholars for a long time. They express individually of various arguments, viewpoints, and guidelines. From Bauhaus, form follows function, deterrence, 10 principles for good design, to Steve Jobs, design is how it works. The list goes on and on. Design organizations also try to affirm, promote, and define the term good design by distribution of awards. Since 1950s, if Red Dot, Good Design, or GMARC has started, and then the recent one, Design of the Year Award. This design award has become so globally popular and influential to the point that for many people, the term design award has become the symbol for good design. However, every time when the result of the design award comes out, there are always some surprise and some disappointment as well. That make us wondering what's going on within the jury process. And we try to unveil the secret behind the black box. So that comes to our purpose of the research. We try to understand the selecting standards of a design award. And we take Design of the Year Award as an example. We try to find out whether there are decisive keys relevant to the decision-making process for the shortlist selection. The method we use first, we use a ground theory for the analyzing of the document. And we use the MDS to explain the result of the questionnaire. The originality of the research comes first. The authors has been invited and experienced as nominator for Design of the Year Award. Thus, we got the first-hand data. Second, there are rare relative studies about the subject. Design of the Year Award is a design award held by the Design Museum, London, every year. It has 6 categories, and it could only be entry by nomination. Each nominator invited by Design Museum could only nominate 3 design projects per year. After the nomination, you will go to the shortlist, and then the category and overall winners. Here we will put the focus on the process from nomination to shortlist. This is our research process. First, data analysis, and we try to find out whether there are common standards carried out through the years. And we use them as a rating criteria for the questionnaire. And the final step is analysis. This is a chart of data we collected. We found out that for the first 2 years, there's no criteria for the nominator at all. But the later 3 years, we can find that the criteria there. However, the criteria changes every year. That make it very difficult to see if there's any consistent value carried out through different years. So we dig further, and we define out that even the terms or description may be changing. There are still some keywords that have similar meanings. So we try to put them in color and group them. And there will be 4 categories of criteria. And we also found that there are 2 of them. They are similar in phase of time. So we further combine them together. Thus make up to the final 3 criteria. First, Zeitgeist. Whether this project is represent or lead the trend of the time. Second, access. Is the design good for humanity or environment, or care for the minority groups? Third, change. Is the design experimental or innovative in form, function, material, technology, process, or just change the way the people look at things or think about things? To prove that the previous 3 criteria we summarize is related to the result of the Design of the Year award, we select some projects we nominated before as samples. And we put some of the other projects that were in the same categories in comparison. So our samples include the ones that were successful to be in the shortlist and some projects that failed. And then we do a blind test by creating a questionnaire, and we ask the people to give grades for each project based on the 3 criteria: Zeitgeist, access, and change. And we use a multidimensional scaling as a way to analyze the result. And we found out that first, Zeitgeist in red color and access in green color. They form about 90 degrees in space. And if we use these 2 axes to draw a new coordinate, and some of the projects, for example, the one in gray color, which fall into the new 3rd quadrant or nearby it, they just happen to be the projects that fail to be in the shortlist. And if we look at the number below, we can see that those projects, they have similar attributes, that they only score average or below in any single criteria. Similar situation could be found in transport or product category. This comes to our first finding. Zeitgeist, access, these 2 criteria, they are significantly correlated to the result of the Design of the Year award. Change is also relevant as well. Second, if a project is outstanding in any criteria, even the overall score is low, it still can get into the shortlist. For example, G1. In comparison with the other projects in green, G1 is outstanding in Zeitgeist, but the overall score, even the overall score is low, it still got into the shortlist. While the other ones in green, they may got a higher overall score, but is not outstanding in any criteria, those projects fail. So our conclusion first, 3 criteria, Zeitgeist, access, and change, could be used to predict and explain the result of the Design of the Year award. Second, if a project is outstanding in any criteria, it will be very likely to be in the shortlist. Even the overall score may be low. On the other hand, if a project is not outstanding in any criteria, even the overall score is high, it still fail. And we also make a comparison with the other design awards like if Red Dot or DreamArc, Good Design. We can find out that Design of the Year award is not just different in the way of participate, it also doesn't have the aesthetic criteria like if Red Dot or DreamArc. And it doesn't have to be mass production or carry any commercial value. So the result of the Design of the Year could be more conceptual or experimental. That concludes my presentation for today, and thank you very much for your patience.